Buckle up. We have some wild temperature swings coming across the entire country. What's going on, guys? Certified meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you. The warmth surges in the west, and the chill is going to dig way far south as we move through the middle part of November. We'll also have an update on the tropics, looking into the long range on finally the final month of hurricane season. We'll break this down hour by hour, day by day. Also, thank you to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it coming on as we were tracking Hurricane Melissa. If you like being a part of an awesome weather community, just like the weather in general, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you find the content that we are about to talk about helpful, informative, and interesting. This is the temperature anomaly map. There's Thursday, November 6th. The orange, yellow, and red indicate above normal temperatures. The blue and then purple, which you will see a lot of purple in just 1 second, that represents the below normal air temperature. So we're going to fast forward this into the upcoming weekend. There's Friday into Saturday, and we are talking about warmth across a big chunk of the lower 48. That's through Saturday, November 8th. And then look what happens. The blue starts to make an appearance. That's Sunday, November 9th through the Northern Plains, Upper Midwest, Great Lakes, even getting down to the nation's heartland through St. Louis. Watch what happens early next week. Relative to normal, look at all that blue and purple through the eastern two-thirds of the country with the core of the cold air mass really extending from the Great Lakes down even into Florida. We're talking about a huge cold front coming through. And again, this slides back down the pipeline Monday into Tuesday of next week. So let's put some numbers to this. This is going to be the GFS outlook here. Saturday, November 8th at 7 o'clock when we start to see some of that chill come through. You're going to see some teens pop up into the upper Midwest, Northern Plains, especially in the North Dakota, Minnesota. And we have this rolling through Sunday, Monday. You see the temperatures change rather quickly. This is going to be Monday morning, and we're talking about waking up to temperatures in the teens and 20s in the Dakotas, Minnesota, right around the freezing mark in Chicago and Detroit. And then as you wake up on Tuesday morning into parts of the southeast corner of the United States, that is whenever we start to get maybe 30s as far south as Ocala, Florida. That's how brutal, relatively speaking, this chilly air mass is coming through. And again, that really starts to sneak into the upper Midwest Saturday and then lasts through about the middle part of next week. We're through about November 11th. So there we go with the big chill sliding through. Now, prior to that, we're going to take things back. I wanted to talk about what the thumbnail was first. We're going to take it back a little bit. So this is now going to be tomorrow, and we are watching one of those atmospheric river events come through. You see kind of that fire hose. This is the future clouds and rain north of San Francisco into Northern California. And then this extends that heavy rain thread all the way back toward Portland, Oregon, at least south of Portland, Oregon. But it rides the coast, and you see that rain chance increase, especially for us right along the Pacific Northwest. See that spiral. A lot of heavy rain coming from about San Francisco all the way to Seattle, Vancouver. Big atmospheric river event coming down the pipeline. Starting tomorrow, really ramping up into Wednesday. So that's the main weather focus over the next couple of days across the country. Weak system bringing some rain to parts of the Arrowhead of Minnesota, into parts of northern Michigan, the UP of Michigan, and then towards southeast Canada, Toronto, Montreal, into that area. Otherwise, most of the lower 48 is nice and quiet for a change, and it's going to stay that way for the next couple of days, with the exception of our friends on the west coast of the U.S. Low temperatures when you wake up on Tuesday, November 4th. That's tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday, November 3rd. Nothing too crazy out there. 33 in Bismarck, 31 in International Falls, 55 in Orlando. Detroit, we're waking up to the upper 30s. Houston, San Antonio in the low to mid 50s. High temperatures on Tuesday. Again, we're looking pretty good. You see where the warmth is trying to surge, though, from El Paso to Omaha, Nebraska, to Denver, Colorado, east of the Front Range. Dallas, we're at 78. Also 78 in Orlando. Pittsburgh, we're at 58. Mid 60s in Roanoke, Virginia. So that is the weather across the country for the next couple of days, and I wanted to show you a little bit of the long range with those temperature swings. Speaking of the long range, this is the Climate Prediction Center report. We talked about this last week, but wanted to show you this again as we were kind of looking long range. This is going to be from November 5th through the 11th. This is the area that the Climate Prediction Center has highlighted for possible tropical development. Now, we're going to bring up the other weather computer that has weathernerds.org, and I have the ensembles picked up or on. The GFS have picked up on a little bit of something, something. This is nothing to write home about. The European ensembles basically show nothing. Can we get something in this area over the next week? Maybe. The models, the ensembles are not arguing for anything. There's some limited thunderstorm activity down there as we speak. As far as further out, getting into the second week of November, we're talking about the potential for the Western Caribbean once again. Otherwise, though, we are looking very, very nice. There's nothing screaming that we're going to get any kind of development out there. So, positive notes all around as we continue to think about our friends in Haiti, in the Dominican Republic, in Jamaica, in Cuba, in the Turks and Caicos, and in the Bahamas that were significantly impacted by Hurricane Melissa. So we're thinking about you guys as recovery efforts are way underway. I wanted to show you this too as we are going forward. So we did have uh, Melissa do a number on some of the heat content down here. So what was high is now, or what was extreme, excuse me, it was that red color really from Haiti through south of Jamaica is now into the medium to high. So certainly, if there were to be something develop in there, there would be plenty enough fuel for something to feed off of. It's not as extreme as it was. We did up well some of it with Melissa, but still, it's wild. And certainly, we still have all of this extreme warmth in the red and rust color to the Cayman Islands, toward the Loop Current, to the west of Cuba, and to the east of the Yucatan Peninsula. The one thing I wanted to show you here, and this is nice. I'm not saying that there's not enough fuel to get anything going in the North Gulf Coast, but you see the color table kind of drop out. And what I mean by that is you can see kind of like the graphical ocean waves there. Where that is happening, that's because of the cold fronts kind of cooling down the ocean surface a little bit. And as I showed you at the beginning of the video, there's a method to the madness here. There's another significant cold front coming down the pipeline that will arrive in the North Gulf Coast Sunday night, Monday morning of next week. So 7, 8 days away from this recording on 11/3, November 3rd, to reinforce the shutting down of the hurricane season for the United States. So there's no indication in the long range that the U.S. is going to be threatened by anything else. And what is helping us more, if something were to get going in lift up, once it gets beyond the loop current, which is that big red loopy thing there, that's why it's called the loop current, the fuel is being eaten up by the cooler fall air. So some positives on that front. Alrighty, guys, if you found that content helpful, give me a thumbs up. I love to know your thoughts on the rest of hurricane season or with the weather in general. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from and what the weather is doing in your location. Always love getting your storm reports. That's what makes this channel different from everybody else because we have that conversation. All of us, 100 and almost 5,000 strong now. Thank you to the new subscribers and the longtime supporters. We had that conversation. We talk about the weather. That's what makes us different. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.